It's 6 p.m. Welcome again to the Screen Team on today's Talk 930 KWOC and 93.3 FM. Glad to have you here, and we're going to be talking about movies. That's what we do here at the Screen Team. We talk about movies. Sometimes we'll do a movie in theaters. Sometimes we'll do a movie on DVD. And sometimes we'll pick a movie from our own personal collection. And we've got three really good scary movies for you this evening, which were picked by Tracy. Tracy, glad to have you back on the show.
Thank you. I love doing this.
It's good to have you on the show. And we've got Tracy, we've got Sabrina. You guys are like my go-to now for horror films.
Oh, okay.
And we're in October now. It's horror season definitely has begun. Before we start about our first movie, Ouija, I wanted to get your guys' thoughts. A month ago, we lost a great director in the horror genre. Wes Craven passed away last month, and I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on Wes Craven. Sabrina, did you see Nightmare on Elm Street when it first came out?
Of course I did. I was in high school.
Did it freak you completely out?
Yes, absolutely. Wes Craven brought an element of horror to the screen that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
And he brought
comedy and horror. I mean, he really did. Like Freddy Krueger had a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And that just wasn't really part of the horror genre. You know, you went to get scared. You didn't go there to laugh and be scared.
Right.
And they kind of, in the 80s, they just really brought out this whole, don't drink, don't smoke, don't have sex, don't do anything you're not supposed to do, and you'll live.
It's true.
So, I mean, there's some amazing actors and actresses that came from the Scream queen herself.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis came from some of the movies back in the 80s, but one of my favorites is Johnny Depp.
He got his start with
He got his start with Nightmare on Elm Street.
Exactly.
He got his start and his finish. You know, I'm just kidding. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Tracy, were you a fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street films?
Oh, yes, definitely. I remember watching them at the end of my parents' bed. They had a big waterbed, and I'd lay there, and I'd have all their blankets piled up around my face, but I'd still be having that one eye peeked out.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street was it. And then he did Wishmaster.
Yep.
I really don't know what all he did, but...
He also did the Scream series. Did you guys watch
Yeah.
the
They
Scream?
have a TV show. My son, Tyler, he's really into that right
Oh, is he
now.
really?
It kind of follows the storyline of the movie a little bit.
Yeah.
He's begging me to get on and watch it.
Okay, guys, let's start off with our show this evening. And Tracy, you've picked three movies for us. You picked Ouija, The Lazarus Effect, and the new Poltergeist film.
Yep.
Let's start off with Ouija. This film came out in 2014, and it's about the board game, correct?
Yes, the Hasbro board game.
And tell us your initial thoughts on watching this film.
Well, at the first time that I rented it, I only got to see maybe the first 30 minutes, and then the DVD just crapped out. So we had to take it back and get a different one, and I didn't get to see it again until 2 nights ago. And I was not impressed with the first 30 minutes of it or so. It was slow going, bad acting, overreactions, weird plot holes, like the family says, my daughter died, so we're going to go away and leave her best friend to house sit, of course. You know, set up like a bad joke.
Pretty much.
But it gets good after a while. And then when they introduced, what was her name that played Eloise from the Insidious movies? I have it wrote down somewhere, but anyway, that lady.
Oh, I'm horrible with names. I'm like that girl with the thing on the... yeah.
Trying to find it here. I don't
So they
see
introduced her?
Yes, she's one of... the storyline is there's a mother and two daughters. This is backstory. Mother and two daughters, and the mother was a medium. And she starts using one of her daughters to have the spirits talk through her.
Which you don't find out until almost the end of the movie.
Right. The whole movie is just this Ouija board is communicating through the main character, Lainey, and people are dying, and they're having their lips sewn shut. You have no idea why. And then you find out that it was because this mother, just called Mother, had sewn her daughter's lips shut so that the spirits couldn't talk through her anymore. And so you think, okay, well, Mother has to be banished because she'd already attacked Lainey with her, coming after her and scary looking. And so they uncut little girl's corpse, And she comes back, she screams, "Mother is banished, everything is happy, yes," and then more people die. And
That's it, folks.
This movie's brutal, man.
yes, so then they find out, because they go back to the woman, the sister of this little girl who had died, as she's all grown up, and she says, yes, now she's set free, and now she's going to be nice to me. And you find out that the little girls were both evil, and Mother was just trying to protect everybody. And so they go back to this basement. Everybody makes decisions in scary movies that I don't understand. So they go back to this basement, and they...
With nothing but a flashlight.
Right. And there's no crosses or anything. And they start going down there to get the body to destroy it, and of course the ghost is going to stop them. But they get to the very last fight scene, and the ghost is trying to possess the main character, and her best friend's spirit comes along and helps her out, and this is a big awe moment.
The one at the beginning.
Yes.
The one from at the beginning.
Yes. The
So
Debbie.
it sounds like there's a lot of twists and turns in this film.
What do you think? Because I think it kind of follows the scary movie formula pretty well.
It follows it doesn't start off that way.
Right.
But it does, I'd say 3/4 of the movie follows the typical 80s teenager angst type horror. Oh, he likes me. Oh, I like him. Oh, I think I'm in love. Oh, I think I'm going to stay home tonight and die. And then you're just like, oh, my friend, I can't leave it alone. I have to talk to her. And they use the Ouija board to talk to the dead friend who, by all appearances, hung herself. And everybody else buys it, but the best friend. So the story is the best friend trying to find out what happened to her friend.
Right. She believes, oh, this Ouija board was involved in her suicide, so let's get it out, and we're going to mess with it.
Yeah,
too.
let's play with this more.
Have you ever played with the Ouija board?
I have. I think I was a junior high or something like that, and it
Lame?
was lame.
Really?
And I'm really kind of glad that we didn't play with it any more than we did, because as a grown-up, I'm way more scared of stuff than I was as a teenager. So I would probably psych myself into something really awful.
You know what else was lame? This movie.
Yeah.
This movie was boring to me. You know what was the
He
most...
snored through most
You
of
know,
it.
but hey, I'm going on this. You know what was the most scary part of watching this film with Sabrina? It was Sabrina. Because I was sleeping. I was sleeping right next to you in the chair, and the movie was not interesting me. I was bored. But every time Sabrina would jump or did you see that? I'd be like, what? Yeah, that was
we were
amazing.
in the cuddle chair even.
That
too,
was
so.
amazing.
He comes over in the middle of his sleeping and says, "Yeah, I need a cuddle." I'm like, whatever.
I
you're
wasn't scared. No, I wasn't.
This is a cuddle chair. It's meant for 1.5 people, and Chris and I are sharing it.
Whatever.
I will say this, though. I had to see the whole movie. It wasn't one of those movies to me where I wasn't going to fall asleep on it, and I wasn't going to just turn it off, because I've been known to do that on occasion, just completely give up on something. But I didn't give up on it. And considering that we're in the Halloween time of mind, it was a fun movie to watch. I would almost bet that a person watching it by themselves would probably enjoy it more than watching it with other people.
Really?
Just because you could really psych yourself into some stuff, you know.
Okay.
But as far as like putting it on my top 20 of Halloween best movies, no, not even close. It's like maybe not even on the top 100.
Very good. It's called Ouija, and it's on DVD. Coming up after the break, we're going to review The Lazarus Effect. It's coming your way next on Today's Talk 930 KWOC and the Screen Team.